Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Pulsechain Hangout today. We called it Hangout. It's a weekend, and of course, it's Saturday in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's Sunday in the Southern Hemisphere. So, big shout out to everybody. And I think the weather's pretty fine outside. So, hopefully, I'll get to go for a nice walk today. I've had 2 days off just to give the body a rest, but straight back into it today. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see who's jumped into the chat here. We got Rod Fitzpatrick was in first. Morning, Superman, and all the family. Good to see you, Rod, as always. Lies Beneath in the house with the Alpha. How are you today? Very good, and the weather is good, so it's got to be a good day. We got Lies Beneath in the house there with the ultimate golden crypto strategy of Richard Hart, Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX, and Center for the Win, 100% the maxi strategy of this channel. And a big shout out there for Lies Beneath as a member. So awesome. Thank you so much for your support. As always, Lies Beneath always brings the alpha every day, which is really cool. Who else there? We've got a couple other comments. So let me just jump through some of this. Let me go through all those comments. Yeah, I don't mind people posting stuff about projects in the chat, but I just don't like the spamming. You know, when people start spamming the chat. So just, you know, it's fine to post projects, but don't spam the chat. It's pretty much it. Hexvader in the house there. Good to see Hexvader. Welcome to the chat there. We got Vinny3 in the house as well. Good to see you too. We got Brennan as well. Woohoo! Bring on the great race today at Bathurst, says Brennan. The driving is in the house. Vroom, vroom. We got J-Pon as well. Good morning to all from J-Pon. Good to see J-Pon again. We got Sandy Beach as well. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Welcome, Sandy Beach. We got Vin says hello to everybody. Nice. We got Adam in the house as well. Saw the dip and got my RHDCA. Hope you all did too. Well done, Adam. Well played, man. That is the way to do it. Still buying Superman. Go Pulse, says Joe. Nice. Well done. And the slice, we got a little pullback today. So definitely a good chance to do that as well, to pick up those DCAs. Now, I just want to do a big thoughts out to Israel. Thoughts and prayers go to Israel. Got attacked by the Hamas terrorist group, and it was a major attack by land, sea, and air. Something like 300 people have been murdered so far. People being dragged out of their cars, killed on the highways, killed in their houses, kidnapped. Really is atrocious. Yeah, just thoughts and prayers out to Israel there. I'm sure there's going to be a big response to that. It was a major event there. Looks like they're trying to also stop the peace agreement with Saudi Arabia with Iran. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that space. We do wish them peace for everybody there. So just you know, people like to do it. Don't know why. Cause misery for everybody else. Anyway, that is a big shout out to those in Israel. Brendan says that attack is sad to see. Yeah, I'm sure the numbers are going to be much higher than that by the time they've finished counting them all up. And of course, they've still got to clear out the terrorists as well. All right, let's move into crypto though. Let's see what the markets are like. Let us jump into that. Let's go back in the top left here and pull up the markets. Bitcoin still holding up pretty well, actually. Bitcoin at 27,995. It's the altcoins that are showing the weakness. We can see that. A couple of the altcoins doing okay though. We've got Leo is up pretty strong. I mean, that's up 15%. So $3.84. But you know, across the board, you got ETH showing a bit of weakness. BNB, XRP, ADA. So a lot of the leaders a bit weak. Litecoin is pretty flat, but you know, you've got Matic just a little bit down. BCH. So yeah, just a little bit of weakness across the board with the altcoins, but Bitcoin itself is holding up pretty nicely. And so fingers crossed on that. Certainly no response there. I guess it's dampened down a little bit there with the old Israel incursion. But if we look at the price of Bitcoin at the moment during the window of opportunity, it's holding up pretty strong. That's looking pretty good. I don't know what Brendan thinks of that, but that is pretty amazing. Now, the one thing I wanted to point out was down the bottom here is that we had Kevin McCarthy was pushed out to speak in the US. And of course, I think they're looking to vote for a new one. I think there's a couple of front runners, Jim Jordan being one of them. And of course, Steve Scalise, I think, is another one as an option. But we got, we've got the move on here. We've got the budget stopgap. So we got a 45-day reprieve, remember, on, I think it was the 30th September, all the way through to the budget stopgap here on the 16th of November. So they have to not only get another speaker, but they also have to deal with the budget as well moving forward. So there's a lot of stuff happening there. But before that, of course, on the 1st of November, about just over 2 weeks before, is the Fed Reserve meeting there. So we're waiting for that. But so far, Bitcoin is doing pretty well. Not a lot of news out for crypto, really. Just we want generally good news. I think that's probably the best thing we can look forward to. And remember, the halving is not until next year, right? So until April next year. So that's still quite a while away. In fact, let's have a little look on the calendar there. I think that's around about the 17th, if I remember rightly. On the 17th of April, which is about there. So that is the Bitcoin halving. And that's out here. So Bitcoin, let's put that in there now. BTC halving. Halving. I've got to do the typing first. So that's out here, and so yeah, we may get a nice little slow run up into that. It's going to be pretty cool. I definitely think that we need to be before June to have our run, to have a nice little bull run in there. It'd be pretty nice. So fingers crossed for that. But that is kind of where we are at the moment on the old Bitcoin, looking pretty strong. But everything else, we've got a golden cross back here too, right? So we had a fake out on the death cross. That's unbelievable. This is definitely in the history books. This little fake out here. I don't know what Brendan thinks of that too, but pretty positive on the way up there. So not bad, eh? Not bad. So hopefully the altcoins will run as well. So that leads us into Pulsechain. So let's get into Pulsechain as well. Pulsechain at the moment is obviously down a few percentage points, 4.23% on Pulse. We're at quadruple 0448. We didn't break out of our ascending triangle. We'll look at that in a minute. And we're at 45% of the sacrifice price. So still, still well down from the sacrifice mean price, but over 2 times the whale price. So still looking pretty good there. Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0115, down 5.5%. We're sitting at about 11.5%, of course, of the mean sacrifice price. Where one pulse at the moment will get you 3.9 Pulsex. So Pulse is relatively stronger again. Remember, it was up at 4, went down to what about 3.8, something like that. It's now back up at 3.9, which is pretty cool. We've got Archie in the house there. Breaking news here on Archie. We've got Archie there with the best Hex and Pulsechain YouTube channel. There is. Woo-hoo-hoo. And a big shout out to Archie. Thank you so much for your support. Archie's amazing. Gives us a lot of intel in the Discord. He's one of our awesome moderators, of course, helps out a lot of people. And, of course, a big supporter of the channel, hands out and free memberships. And a big shout out for his support for 6 months. So thank you very much, Archie. 2 thumbs up. Let's do 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, yeah. All right, very cool. All right, let's get back into it. We've got the buy and burn. The buy and burn is at 467.8 billion Pulsex has been bought and burned. And we're now at 2.26% of the public supply. This is slowly creeping up. Remember, we're currently at ending day 148. So this is day 148 results on Pulsechain. So we're almost about to start day 149. We've got the incentive price is at $1.06. It's down 1.1%. The ratio is back up over 22,000. So that's good news. 23,693. That's going to be interesting on the chart. The ratio is back up. That's pretty cool. So what's the worst performer? The worst performer is, we haven't got down to PHEX. So let's go to PHEX first. PHEX is at 0.0808, so 0.8 of a penny. EHEX is at 33/100 of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is at 1.14 cents. And of course, one PHEX will get you 180 pulse. That's a bit stronger today. And I think from memory, it's a bit stronger. Yeah, I think so. And we've got one PHEX equals 2.45 EHEX, which looks a bit weaker. So there we are. That is the numbers. And of course, let's see what the worst performer. Worst performer is actually Pulsex today, down 5.5, followed by Pulse at 4.25, and then followed by PHEX there at 3.47. In fact, incentive token's done the best, down 1.1. And this ratio is probably the cause there. It's actually gone back up over 23,000 quite strongly. So good news there. Let's have a look at the charts. The charts here. So we got our ascending triangle. That's certainly being tested here and broken down through the bottom. So we'll be watching that. Obviously, still got a wider ascending triangle, but we're looking to get this theorized green price up here. Maybe a bit of a dampen down with the Israel thing. Maybe that's influenced the sentiment in the market. Food for thought there. So that's pretty much it. no real change. We'll have to just wait for another good day, maybe tomorrow. Although tomorrow is Sunday in the US, and it's typically a pretty low day. Although last Sunday wasn't too bad, was it? So we'll see how we get on tomorrow. Pulsechain as well, pretty drifting down. So good time to pick up a little bit of extra at a bit cheaper prices. And yeah, we've had a high of 12.54, a low of 11.32 with 4 zeros in front of it. We do have tightening Bollinger Bands happening, so that's going to be pretty nice to see. Hopefully that'll play out to the upside, right? Because we've still got everything is still generally going to the upside. So we'll just see, but that today is a down day. Let's look at the NCN token though. This is the most interesting one. $1.06 at the moment. Let's have a look at the ratio. That ratio has definitely jumped. Look at that green day ratio there. Some big buying going in there. We bounced off 22,930 and we're up currently at 23,692, which is pretty cool. We got actually 23,880, which is a really nice big bounce there. So interesting times. When did that happen? How many hours ago? 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago that happened. There we are. Got pumped big time. That is it on the NCM token. Let's go to PHX. Not PHX, PX there. Also down. This was up at 85/100th of a penny. It was down at almost just under 81/100th of a penny. This is the one that's actually kind of got hit the most, actually, in some ways. But still, we've got a very tight Bollinger Band. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo! So maybe this is our last red day before we get a nice green pop, eh? Maybe that's what's going to happen there. Let's have a look at our RSI. RSI is pretty chill, down at 48 too. So yeah, there we go. Let's look at EHEX. EHEX just slumming along the bottom here, really. Not much too much to say. Probably waiting for all the other stuff, PHEX and Pulse to rally, is my guess. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's look at the combined price of PHEX and EHEX. This is on the hourly chart, not the daily. And yeah, you can see we really pumped quite nicely to 1.18 cents, and we've just drifted off just the last couple of hours back down to 1.13 cents there at the moment, with a little bit of volume selling us down. That's pretty much it for the gold and cryptos. Definitely a chance to pick up a bit more extra volume with those little pullback prices. Let's quickly check the values as we always do. We've got the values at 44,247. And Pulsechain really is the people's chain. And of course, Pulsechain is leading the DeFi revolution. We have 180 projects, if not more, coming. And it just seems we're getting a whole ton of more teams jumping on to develop on Pulsechain. So the word must be getting out there. And, you know, I saw an article saying that, you know, a lot of devs are leaving the crypto space. Well, they're not leaving Pulsechain. If they're leaving other chains, they seem to be coming to Pulsechain. Pulsechain is the place to be. Because we've got plenty of devs building all the top type of DeFi and GameFi and things like that out there. It is really cool. There's lots to be built onto Pulsechain, so it's very exciting to see it all done. We've got 1.42 trillion in Pulse actually staked at the moment, which is super bullish. On top of that, of course, we have EIP 159 and, of course, the 4,096 Genesis validators that burned something like 132 billion, I think it was, as well. So that's kind of cool. Very cool. And we've got liquid loans coming up this month, expected to launch with confirmed launch from the CEO for October. And of course, we're waiting for the Fetch Oracle first. And then, of course, liquid loans that will collateralize more Pulse, enabling the large holders to, you know, large and medium holders to take Pulse off the market and flood Pulsechain with a new stablecoin, USDL, which is going to be really, really bullish. And of course, with that comes lending and leverage, which we know pumps prices as well. So excited about that. That is kind of cool. Let's go to the gas prices. We've got low gas prices at the moment, which is pretty cool. We did have a little bit of a bounce up here, a little bit of one, but we're pretty much at 456,000 beats. That's pretty low, so that's good news. We're 400 times cheaper than Ethereum, and Ethereum at the moment is still remaining very, very cheap. In fact, let's bring up the money, ultrasound money, and have a look at the GUI. GUI has been spectacularly cheap on Ethereum lately. And of course, let's have a look. Obviously, Ethereum not really overperforming, even with the Ethereum ETFs launched in this week that we just had. But look at that gas price there on Ethereum. Look at that. Woohoo! Down at fives, in the low fives even. That's amazing. Or mid fives on the GUI. So super cheap at the moment. And of course, we look, that's the last 7 days. If we look the last 365 days or 387, you can see that last time we had that cheap was similar last year. We had cheap all the way through to about the 10th of October, and then we started getting higher GUI. Will we see something similar today. We've got a couple of days left to go. All right, but at the moment we're getting super cheap Gwei. Will this end in let's say a week's time, 5 days to a week? Will this be over, or even 3 days if it's the same as last year? We will see. So watch out for that. But in any case, even with Gwei, like 5 or 6 Gwei on Ethereum, we're still 375 times cheaper at the moment, which is spectacular, and we're 170 times cheaper than Bitcoin at the moment. So not too bad at all. In fact, let's bring up the old Pulsechain scan and have a look at the transactions on the scan there, and let's zoom in on this too. That is the scan. That is the transaction. So we're currently at 348,000 transactions on the 6th of October there. That is what we had, and pretty similar to the day before. We had 347. So kind of cool. Yeah, we came off that high 480,000, and I think our high was all the way back up here, wasn't it? Yeah, 811,000 on the 18th of September. So there we are. Not too bad though in the old transactions. All right, that is the Block Scout, scan.pulsechain.com. And of course, those are cool numbers. So very cool. We're going to get into a lot of the other numbers at the moment. I talked about PZN. We'll talk about that a bit later. But we're going to get into the PRC20s. Before we do that, though, let's catch up in the chat and see who's in the house as well. We're going to get into all the PRC20s first. Who else has jumped in here? Let's go up the top and find out who is here. Let's go. We got Archie, of course, came in. Very, very cool. We got Ivor as well. Yo from Sydney. Good to see you, Ivor. And Vinny there from New Mexico. Big shout out. Academiciated and out there. Evening all. Good to see Academiciated. Christian says, if you need a saving from getting wrecked or scammed, join a Discord where Superman is on watch duties and saving, helping those that are in need. Yeah, definitely get into our Discord. A link is in the video description as well. Yeah, definitely join up there. Very good words there from Christian. What else there? Pulsechain. Good morning, Super. Good morning, Pulsechain. Welcome to the chat as well. Big shout out. All right, let's get back into it. And bam, there we go. It's a bit like magic, isn't it? The studio. It's like bing, 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 bing. Just change the format. Let's have a look at our leaders. Like PDI. The PDI has been kind of one of the exciting stories of Pulsechain. And of course, it's always fun to watch to see whether it can do the impossible. Everyone is always excited when can something do the impossible? Can PDI or DAI, the copy of DAI on Pulsechain, can it do some wonderful things? And of course, tied in with this magical Atropa contract, can it do some impossibles? Can it become $1? That's kind of the goal there. And at the moment, it's been around 1/10 of a penny. It's definitely sold down the last couple of days. Hasn't managed to keep that rally going. But is it going to get back to 1/10 of a penny again? Is it going to get back to the all-time high of about 3/10 of a penny? And is it going to get to this yellow line, the 1 cent mark, on its way to $1? Can it do it? We will find out. But it's certainly fun to watch it try. It's fun to watch it try. And at the moment, it's pulled back quite a bit there. We've actually got down to a low of 7,700. We're currently at 8,400. So it's certainly come back there. But it had a high of the day of 1/10 of a penny. But you're not holding on to that at the moment. So we'll see how it gets on with that one. So we'll stay tuned. Wrap Bitcoin has pulled back. Wrap Bitcoin there having a bit of a red day. Was a high of $93.80. Is now down at $82.30. But did get to a low of $81.66. So not quite at the bottom there. The Bollinger Band you can see is around. The RSI is around 46. So on the weaker side. Let's have a look at what else we got. We got TDP is down 6%. Treasury bills down 6%. Atropa there is down 15%. So have a quick look at Atropa. There's a Atropa Pulse. Down quite a bit, right? Look at that. Woohoo! And it's failed to do much from now, 0075. So definitely showing that weakness at the moment. Keep a look on the RSI here because if it gets down low enough, then it might be quite a nice little entry on that one. Still speculative, but you're looking for that. Typically looking for the bottom side of the RSI before you get in if it's done a big pullback. So just some food for thought there. All right. What else we got going there? Maker is down 6%. Those are the leaders. So we're just looking at the top liquidity pools. Those are the kinds of ones there. Now, the two big meme coins, SHIB and Pepe. And of course, we're talking about the 9-inch decks coming up in the future. They are down 5% and 7% respectively. Let's have a quick look at those and see whether they're good entries yet. As you guys know, I'm really thinking about the 1,000 mark here would be really ideal, but it is getting pretty close to that for a nice little entry on the old ship. And that is for, you know, you're banking on some pools inside the 9-inch decks there. What else we got going? We got Pepe as well. Let's quick look at Pepe. Pepe is pretty much down at the bottom as well, so a nice little entry point on Pepe already. So I think that's kind of hit the entry point there if you want to speculate on Pepe getting into the 9-inch decks there and getting support as one of the more popular meme coins there. We will see. We'll see where that happens. Not guaranteed, but we're trying to play some logic and probability there. And that is down at the moment 7%, so down towards the bottom of the range, which is kind of cool. You can see the full chart there. For Pepe, we'll see. But probably a better guaranteed play even than that is the meme coins. So let's go to the meme coins. These are the 3 medium-sized meme coins, of course, from the 9-inch team. And that is Where'd the ETH Go? That's currently at 50 cents. Let's go look at that. That's 50 cents. Kind of looks like, is that, it's not off the bottom though. The bottom is 38 cents, currently at 50 cents. So it's kind of 2/3 up really, isn't it? And we'll be looking for that. Could do pretty well. But I actually think these other ones are probably even better, which is Pulse Dodge is probably my favorite one in terms of the number of people. It's almost reached down to the buying target. I said 3,000 is the top of this range here, and it pretty much hit that earlier today. In fact, probably a couple of hours ago, it hit that. So yeah, just a couple of hours ago, got down pretty low. So that would be pretty cool. Let's go back to the daily on the old Pulse Dodge or PLD. And yeah, pretty close to a good entry at 3,000. I think that's a good entry. 3/10 of a penny is the mark there. It's currently at 3,500th of a penny, but definitely still, you know, still reasonable place to get in. But obviously the lower the better, right? More volume and bigger upside. So definitely food for thought there. Looking out for that opportunity. And of course, there's not many holders in Pulse Dodge either. Let's look at Poor Pleb. This is the third one that will get single side staking, as indicated by Hexy Bastard and BBC token incentives. And that's definitely coming down too in the zone. So that's kind of in the zone for accumulating. The cheaper the better, of course. If you can get it down here for 3,000, definitely worth getting. So maybe the next day, maybe tomorrow, might be able to get that. Fingers crossed. Watch out for tomorrow because it's a Sunday, right, in the US, and maybe we don't get a typically kind of weaker trading day. Maybe you can pick it up for that price around that 3,000. Food for thought there. Right, those are our meme coins. Let's jump into our main category, which is Pulsechain projects. We're going to have a look by liquidity there as well. And looking at liquidity, Pulse Reflections is up the best today, 22%. See, people didn't have to spam the chat about PRS. I was going to talk about it if it's on the charts. So there we are. PRS is there as well. So pumping is the old PRS. Now, obviously, I'm not generally like reflection tokens, but you know, PRS has been performing pretty well, as you can see in the chart. It's up 22% today, and it has locked liquidity and renounced contract, all that sort of stuff. So there we are. That's PRS performing pretty well. What else we got going there? We got Tetra is up 3.8%. Now Tetra, we're waiting, of course, for Prism. Waiting for the technology to come out. So we will be talking about that in detail when that comes out, so stay tuned for that. There is no staking pools at the moment, so just remember that. So in fact, we might bring Tetra up just briefly just to show you some of the products. So they've got Atlas. Atlas, sorry, is the one that we're waiting for. Atlas is a Web3 front end of Tetra. The dashboard allows users to manage their Tetra user account, deploy or publish automations and strategies. So that's the very key part there. And search for and manage crypto assets and track portfolio progress. So that's going to be pretty cool. Tetra is soon to enter public beta. So that's kind of the Atlas product. They got Stratus as well. Stratus is the drag and drop editor. So you remember how I was talking to you guys about like Blender, which is a 3D software. That's free for everybody to use. They have, in terms of making some of the 3D artwork, you can use nodes. They call this a node and connectors, where you've got these connectors here. You can sort of connect them up. And you've got different functions and features. You can hook them up and make cool outputs, right? So it's really kind of cool there. And you can just drag and drop, which is pretty neat. Yeah, pretty cool. This one here's got some USDC, and it's got some buy function for some asset, which is pretty cool. This is giving you an idea of how that works. So this is kind of halfway between, like being a novice where you just use normal stuff like Uniswap or Pulsechain or something like that, as opposed to a dev who's, writing code and doing clever things, maybe like something like what Dipcatcher would do in terms of, trading or something like that. And then, of course, this is sort of halfway there. Just makes it like visual coding where you can sort of put things together and it reads the smart contracts, and you could set up limit orders and things like that, price alerts and all sorts of things like that. So it's kind of cool. I think this will be fit a decent niche in the market, and maybe people doing flash loans or something like that could have all sorts of applications. So it's going to be fun to see how that plays out. So Stratus is a drag and drop editor from Tetra. Use Stratus to connect together smart contracts on the blockchain and create automations or manage complex strategies without writing a single line of code. So it really just brings coding to the people to a degree, right? To a degree. And Tetra is soon to enter that. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty cool. So it's Atlas and Stratus there, as you can see. But of course, they also have the staking of the Tetra. But this is over, right? Staking of the Tetra is over, but they will have new pools. So all pools end at the 30th September. So the Tetra pools are finished. And we saw them sell out, right? They just sell out. They were launching one after another, and they sold out, I don't know, just like within 10 minutes or something. But there are new pools coming up in the future. Cube pools and Tetra pools will open. It's supposed to open the 1st of October, but I don't think they've opened it all yet. So you have to keep tabs on the team there as well. You can see there's nothing in these contracts now at the moment. They've all run their course, which is pretty cool. Let us know in the chat there if you're aware of anything else that I've missed there. But that is just a quick summation of what Tetra is doing, which is not too bad. The price at the moment is just drifting on the bottom there. We're at 0.004291, but it is up 3.8%, which is not bad in a generally red day. What else is going on there? We're looking by liquidity. Pulse LN, the on-ramp for Pulsechain with the Lightning Network, BNB, and of course Optimism. That is up 14%, so that's not doing too bad. And they should get priced up, in my opinion. These really are key utilities on Pulsechain, and that's a really nice looking chart now, isn't it? Almost heading towards 2 cents there. So well done, Pulse LN, providing a key utility and on-ramp, off-ramp to Pulsechain. What else we got going there? Let's have a look here. 18% Holy, so the TRH game Holy token is up 18% on the Pulsechain projects. That's good to see. I've got the 1 hour chart there. Let's look at the daily. Oh boy, yeah, that's the daily chart there, and it's just ticking away. What's that? $101 at the moment on the old Holy. That's going to be used for V4. So when V4 comes out, that's going to be pretty important. So we'll wait for that. It's supposed to be a big upgrade. So those are pretty much the stand-up performance by liquidity. And of course, if we're looking by percentages, you can see those fours still standing out there. And looking at the worst performer, let's have a look at the worst performer, Ophir. So Ophir pumped hardcore yesterday. It's down 17% today. And look at that, it pumped hardcore yesterday. Look at that, woohoo, on the 4 hour. That's the 4 hourly chart, which is pretty crazy. Let's look at the daily. That is the daily chart there for Ophir. So really got hardcore pumped. That is the chart lifetime there, and it's cooled off there. I'm not sure what drove that, whether they announced some new ecosystem developments or what, but Ophir and Texan Token, they all got pumped. So yeah, Texan Token. What else is down pretty aggressively? Weight Token is down from Coast Team. That's down 60%. We have a quick look at that. So that is on the daily on Coast. So Coast has actually had a nice little recovery there, and it's just been sold off today. So maybe a nice little re-entry on that one there for Coast. So those are kind of the main categories there for the Pulsechain projects. A bit of a quiet day over the weekend for projects. We are expecting the Fetch Oracle. A good chance we might get that launching next week, I suspect. Fetch Oracle makes sense for it to launch next week. If they're going to have a week or two after that to like make sure it's all working and on the mainnet, then we might see liquid loans and Power City on that launch. We know that Power City is coming soon. We covered that yesterday. So some of our big majors, about to launch, which will have amazing. We seem to be getting more ecosystems launching too. So these are project teams that are launching a suite of products rather than just one product. So that's really exciting to see ecosystem teams pulling. We talked about 9mm yesterday, building Explorer, V3 Dex, and what else? Something else in there as well. I can't remember, but they're building those three. So it's really, really cool on that front. They've obviously got the NFT collection with airdrops and things like that coming in. So that's bullish too. All right, so that is that. Let's have a quick look at the stable coins quickly. We're going to have a look at Coast. So let's have a look at that as well. Coast stablecoins. We've got one stablecoin native to Pulsechain at the moment. That is Coast. And we're going to have a look at the price to see how it's performing. Performing very well. Look at that, $1 pegged on there. It's been $1 pegged for some time now. A bit of variability during the day, but essentially $1 right now as we speak. So that's pretty bullish for Coast there as well. And of course, I think they've hit over $2 million now. So onwards and upwards for that. That's a great, huge. You want the economic energy coming onto Pulsechain, and Coast is playing a pivotal role in that. So pretty cool. As is Pulse LN and BNB bridges and things like that. So it's really bullish. The more bridges, more on ramps. That's what we want to see, right? So that is pretty much on the Coast. But we're going to get into the Zen ecosystem briefly. You guys know I talked about PZen pumping, and not a bad call, right? Not a bad call at all so far. Still a long way to run. And why are we excited about this PZen? Because PZen ecosystem, we're talking about ecosystems, right? So we talk about PH Universe, we talk about Liquid Loans ecosystem, we talk about Power City ecosystem, we talk about 9NM ecosystem. We also talk about PZen as an ecosystem as well, because of the way it's all tied in together. And we have a couple of their best protocols launching, right? They have a lot of protocols that have launched that haven't done very well, but they've had a couple that have done, fairly well, amongst ROI games, things like that. So at the moment, I've got PZen pumping pretty much as I've been talking about. And we've got this yellow line here. What's a yellow line? Well, we're expecting two of the big protocols to launch. We're expecting DBZen crypto to launch on the 21st of October, sorry. And we're also expecting, I think, definitely October. And of course, we're expecting the DBZen NFTs to launch as well at the same time. So very bullish on that front. And there may not be a lot of supply, right? Because we had a couple of weeks, remember, where the gas prices on Pulsechain were quite expensive. So people couldn't mint out a lot of PZen. There is a lot in existence. It's like 37 trillion. But there's only, yesterday there was only 2 trillion in the pool, and now there's only 1.4 today. So that's definitely got scarcer there, and that's pretty good news. So this keeps pushing up. How high is it going to go? We will be watching out for this, but it could have a nice little super rally in here, particularly getting over this level here, right? Getting over the 5,000 level. It's we'll get over that. We could have a really super push move at the moment. This is the chart so far, but of course, there's nothing really on. Apart from doing Zen NFTs, there's nothing really on the Pulsechain around the Zen ecosystem, but that's all about to change on the 21st. We were expecting to have those two protocols, which are the successful ones on Pulsechain, on the Ethereum side at the moment. So, those are the ones we're expecting to see there. People will either have to have minted some, which is going to be difficult. We don't know what the profile looks, or they're going to have to buy it, right? And so that's what we're banking on here. So far, they look to be looking to be buying, seeing a lot of buying coming into the market. So we're watching out on this one too. So at the moment, the price is 8 zeros and 3,700 there. Now, Jack Levin has, the well-known vampire, as people call him, has faced some criticism about leadership and direction. So we'll see whether we get more clarity around that too, just as a more broader picture around the Zen there too. So food for thought at the moment. The price is playing out as we talked about the last couple of days. So there we are. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI still got a long way to go. We're only at 55, and of course we got this little uptrend that's slowly moving up there. We haven't had a lot in the history of the PZen, so in terms of RSI, not a lot of information there. And of course, at the moment it's rising up here. It can definitely explode to the upside. We'll be looking out for that before there's some profit taking. There will always be some profit taking. So far, it seems to be pushing up 3 days in a row. We'll see how we get on that one. So right, let's go into some of the other comments in the chat there. Bam. We're up to 34 minutes on the live stream. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Let's see here. Scroll all the way back up here. I got up to Pultivator. I know that much. Richie Robinson's in out there. Richie Rich. What up, Superman? Good to see you, Richie, as always. Welcome to the chat. Taryn as well. What a PRS crew taking over. There's a couple of people in the chat today talking about PRS. I had to put some in timeout earlier, but I think they got the point. There. Hex Space Diamond. Hello, friends. Good to see Hex Space Diamond. Welcome to the chat. Hope your NFTs are selling out nicely, which is cool. Hex Space Diamond's got the first 1155 on-chain NFTs. So a big shout out to Hex Space Diamond. If you haven't checked it out, check out Hex Space Diamond as well. What else there? All right. remember not to spam. I know you guys are tag teaming in the chat there, Torrin and Vinny. Just remember not to spam my chat. That's all I'm saying. Pulseformer in the house there. Hello all. Good to see you, Pulseformer. We've got Vito as well. Is anybody else minting Zen on Pulse base or optimism at these giga cheap prices? Well, especially at the gas prices when they're down at the 400,000, 500,000 beats. That's kind of when you want to do some PZN minting. The previous 2 weeks, if you remember a couple of days back, for the gas prices were super high and the minting was some ridiculous price. So people went minting, is my guess there. At least not short term, which is the point, right? Because we're thinking about the 21st of October and short term mints, so it's not economic to do it. So but definitely an optimism there. I'm not so sure, Vito, that it's going to perform extremely well on all chains. I think you need a chain that you know that the gas prices are going to rise over time. I'm not so sure about base or optimism that that's going to be the case on there. I know that optimism is going to benefit from proto-dank sharding, but that's just going to make things cheaper, right? So that's the opposite what you want. You want a chain that's going to have some variability in the gas price, but also that on average is going to move up in gas prices in the future, right? You want that. And you also obviously want a lot of protocols coming on burning Zen, right? So that's the other thing you want. You want those two things together. And of course you want to be on the low side of that, right? You want to be on the cheap side if you're playing that Zen game. That's all I'm going to say there. What else there? We've got Pulse Beta in the house there. What has caused the Sun PLS sell-off today? Super, do you know? All I can think of is Pulse Beta. I'm not sure if any particular traders have done it or whatever. But maybe just maybe possibly I don't know, maybe the Israel thing. I don't know. But I can't really think of much else because Bitcoin's still holding up. The altcoins have all come down. So it's not just Pulsechain, also the general crypto market, they just waned as well. Maybe just a sentiment out there that's just waning. It wasn't just Pulsechain. Zach's out there as well. Check my pulse reflections, bro. You guys are spamming my chat, dudes. Do not spam my chat, please. It's I think hopefully some of the moderators are on it. Let me go have a look. Moderators been crushing that stuff. There's a couple of you in the chat that's spamming PRS. Don't do it. Just don't do it. I don't mind the occasional post, but not spamming. Thanks. I feel like a teacher in school, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, everyone's going to come. We've had a number of spammers in the last couple of weeks come in and spamming the chats on different projects, so we're not really keen on it. What else? Let's see who else has jumped in here. What else? We've got Blockfish King in the house. Good to see Blockfish King. Thank you very much. Brennan says there seems to be a prolific seller at 4,800 levels for PLS at the moment. So there are Brennan's our TA specialist, so that's a bit of insight for you there on that one. Possible Beta says Hex Orange Address token is doing well again today. I sold last week at a single loss, then it plummeted. Now it's shot up to higher than ever. It's possible. It happens sometimes. Weird, right? Weird when it does happen. Mecca says time is getting near to dump PZN in a face, is Christian. What else there? DX as well. What's up, everybody? Good to see DX. Welcome to the chat. DX says, I hope everybody is doing well. Indeed. I like that. The fact is, Torrin, is that we at the beginning of the live stream, there were a number of people posting posts around the same thing. So that's what I'm talking about. It's not just you. It's a group of PRS people that were in doing that. That's why. So it's not just about you. What else there? We got Weekend House there. Go to Kiwis on the rugby league. That's they're in the final, so they should do well. Go the Knights. Go the Knights. InvestX in the house there. Hello, everybody. Good to see InvestX. Welcome to the chat. Now, InvestX, you've been crushing it, man. I've really been loving your stuff on X social platform. You have really, really grown your following and interaction. It's been fantastic. So well done to InvestX. If you guys haven't checked out InvestX, I use it here on the channel for the combined price of EX and PX. Definitely check that out. But really crushing it, InvestX. And they put a lot of work in that the last couple of years. Really is the best workstation in the Pulse chain. So definitely awesome. All right, Zach doesn't seem to get it, so Zach, you're in timeout. Go the Knights, says Brennan. Go the Knights, absolutely. All right, what else we got going there? All right, let's go back into it. We're going to get into the look in the we're going to get to look in the Fame. We're going to go to Fame. Now, you guys know we've been doing a trade on Fame with the Fame. We've got this trade that we put in. Now, the reason why I got this trade is just to show people how Fame and margin trading works there. And at the moment, we put in $11. You know, we were in the money yesterday. Yesterday, we were in the money. We're up like about 35, 40% or something. We're up about $4 profit or something, $4.50. Now we're out of the money. And don't forget, every single day that we hold a position open, we're paying borrowing fees. So you know, eventually, if the price goes against us and we've had it open for days after days after days, it's going to cost us a lot of money, right? So it just adds up. So at the moment, we're down 2.7. So on price, we're down 8% on the price. But if we add in the fees, we're down 25%. See how that works? So we're down 8% on the price. We add in those fees, and particularly borrowing costs. We've got $1.01 in borrowing fee, and we've got 84 cents in open and close fee. That's $2.73. So we're down 25%. So what we need is the price to go back up to put us back in the profit like we were yesterday. But the longer we hold it open, the worse it gets. But the cool thing, this is why I'm keeping it open, right? I could have closed it yesterday for that profit, which I would have done normally if it was just a small trade, regardless whether it's big trade or small trade. You always want to win the trade. And because if you got more money from a smaller trade, you can turn it into even more money, right? So you know, treat smalls and bigs all the same. That's all what my lesson there. And of course, there we are. So we'll be watching out for the price to recover, and of course hold that open. We'll continue to hold that open. Of course, we're going to keep paying the borrowing fee on that. So interesting times. Now you can see on the chart, if we get rid of the chart positions, that is the market price. We're at quadruple 0449 on the old Pulse. We add in the chart positions. It tells you that we opened up here, so we're actually we opened above the price. That's why we're out of the money by 8%. But our liquidation is down here at 4,333. So we don't really want to. We don't really want to. If the price goes in there, we're out. We lose all our money. All our $11 is gone that we put in there. Remember, so we don't want to get liquidated. So we're actually teasing ourselves here, getting pretty low. So important not to do that. So let's see how we go. I mean, I could have traded out here. This is on the 4-hourly chart, by the way. These are 4-hour candles, and I could have traded out up here. But of course, I'm just keeping this open for demo so that you guys get to see the experience without having to put up any capital whatsoever. Now, this is speculative doing margin trading, of course. There is much more easier ways to earn funds, and that is either you buy Fame and you put it in, you stake it. And currently, 54% of Fame is staked so far, 9.44% APR at the moment, which is pretty good, right, for the Fame. And if you are going to provide liquidity, become the house, as it were, you earn 60% of the fees, but you also take the gains or losses from the people that win or lose on their margin trading, right? So you got to remember that. The APR at the moment is 69.5% on the PHLP, which is awesome. And I've seen it as high as 80%. Pretty spectacular on that at the moment. So really cool. Let's quickly look at the stats on Fame. And of course, see what's happening here. Yeah, look at that. Almost 1.9 million in open interest. So these are people that have got short positions and long positions. And of course, that means that people with short positions, people betting the price will go down. Long positions, people betting the price will go up. And open interest is really high now, 1.9 million. Fantastic. Users are up to 628. And of course, the PHL people is almost at $2.5 million. Remember, 2 days ago or so, or a couple of days, it was down below 2 million. Now it's at almost 2.5 million. So becoming more popular, though yields definitely driving people in there too. When you've got 60, 80% APR, you know, it's obviously volatile depending on what's going on, but that is pretty bullish. The fees are just continuing to climb. You know, it's only been open for 3 weeks, and already it's earned, you know, $116,500 in fees. So you know, what a great business! What a great business in 3 weeks. So pretty good. And the total volume so far, 24 million. So amazing, $24 million in positions in 3 weeks. So fantastic. It's over $1 million a day as well. So it's pretty good. So really nice stuff happening there. Let's have a look at the profitability. And cumulative profit is 6,000. So traders have won. So traders have basically, all things equal, have taken $6,000 out of the PHL people because they've won cumulatively $6,000. They were out of the money a couple of days ago, where the PHLP was up, but definitely they that profit traders have been more profitable. So that pump and pulse, traders who were taking that profit. See that profit the last couple of days? They went long, so they were expecting the price to go up. Price did go up, and they took profits. So that's pretty much what we've seen there. So some interesting stuff, insights there from the fame there as well. Not too bad. All right, we're on day 149 now. So we've got the Hex daily stats coming up as well. So I hope you guys like that fame stuff there. A little bit of insight if you're not familiar with that at all. But we're going to have day 1405 come hot off the press soon. We've already got Pulsechain, so we're going to talk about Pulsechain first. Before we do that, though, let's catch up in the chats. We've got a few more comments. Brennan says, go the Knights. Yeah. Adam as well. Hello, InvestX. Looking good. Looking good indeed. We got Vito says, I'm here. Just comparing Zen on ETH with went to a 150 million market run. They all ran some 50x on Ghost Chain, says Vito. Yeah, thanks for that, Vito. Times have changed, though. Times have changed. Right, let's jump over to the day 1405. This is basically day 148 results for Pulsechain. Hex.com, folks, check it out. We got the 7th of October 2023, and we got the price there at 0.8 of a penny, down 3.8% on the prior day. The payout per T-share is 6.671 hex per T-share. The T-share rate has not changed. We're sitting at 29,787. Average mining length there is 6.97 years. The APY rate is 38.63%. Let's look at the ownership pool. T-shares in the ownership pool down 2,325. So we've got 9,820,000 T-shares in the ownership pool on the old Pulsechain. Jumping to the lock percentage of coins, 9.5% of all Hex is locked on the Pulsechain side. We've got just under 1.4 million penalties. So another good day, 2 good days in a row of penalties. And we've got 65.5 million Hex in the reward pool today. So congratulations if you got your T-shares. What else? We're up 12 liquid holders of Hex on Pulsechain, and we're up 20 miners as well. So the miner numbers have been going up really nicely on the old Pulsechain. You know, super cheap to do stuff on there. We're up to 124,316 current miners on the old Pulsechain side. So looking really, really good there. We haven't got the Hex on Ethereum numbers out yet. I'm sure they will come out soon, but that is pretty much the day. Now, we just started day 1406 on Hex for Hex on Ethereum, and we just started day 149 for Hex on Pulsechain. So onwards and upwards. Check it out, hex.com. Do your own financial due diligence. But if you have any questions, use the link in the chat and join our Discord. We do have a crypto helpline, which focuses obviously mostly on Pulsechain, but definitely join in there as well. All right. Let's go back to the major charts there. Let's jump back to Pulsechain. We'll leave it on the, what chart should we leave it on? The Pulse chart, if we can find it. Let me just sort by liquidity. Go to Pulse Die. There we are. That is Pulse Die. And let's bring that on. Let's get rid of the indicator to the right as well. That is the Pulsechain chart at the moment. Let's see how we get on. Who else has jumped in here? I think that's it. So yeah, we're probably going to. This is probably the fastest live stream I've done for a long time because we don't have a lot of project updates today. I've checked all the projects. Nothing really worth talking about today. But next week, of course, very good chance we'll have the Fetch Oracle up, which is really going to open the floodgates to the big protocols and any protocol that needs sophisticated price calls and reliable price calls with our Fetch Oracle decentralized Oracle there. So that's going to be a big deal. So good chance it will be this week is my guess. Yeah, very excited. Are you excited for that? I think I am. Now, normally you're not normally in crypto, you don't generally get excited about infrastructure plays, but if it's going to unleash all the rest of the plays, it's going to be cool. And of course, you can become an Oracle reporter for some people anyway, and that may be a form of income as well, earning the Fetch token for the Oracle reporting, which is both price calls, right? Those price calls will do like Pulsex, etc., but also be non-price calls as well. So it'll be sort of information, maybe some binary, useful binary games and things like that. You know, I was going to make some jokes about some different options there, but yeah, who needs that? So Liquid Loans, PUSD, PulsePot, teams like that will use the Fetch Oracle, so it's going to be pretty cool. And it'll actually attract probably some other bigger protocols too that need oracles, but there's no decentralized oracle on Pulsechain. But there will be soon, probably within the next week is my guess. And of course, that would lead us into the middle of October. And, we're expecting liquid loans to launch in October. So big deal there. And hopefully all the big players use it and game on from there. I think that's it. So we're wrapping it. We're going to wrap up here. 51 minutes. That's the shortest live stream I've done for a long time. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Relax out there. DCA as always. And of course, if you want to get in and talk about anything at all, crypto, non-crypto, get into our Discord. The link is in the video description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, smash the subscribe button on Hex Token, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain YouTube, streaming to over 10,000 subscribers. And if you've got any comments, if you're watching this on the replay, leave your comments and I'll get to those as well. Big shout out. So onwards and upwards for us all as we covered. I'll be back again tomorrow, of course, to cover Pulsechain again. We'll be covering day 149. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. Hope you guys enjoy it. And we'll see how we get on tomorrow. Peace out, everybody. Bye for now. Let's play out some music though. Actually, let's play out some highest stakes. How about that? I played the music a couple of days in a row, so let's do some highest stakes. Peace out, everybody. Bye for now. Take care.
Richard Art here, welcoming you to the Highest of Stakes premiere. I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. These guys put blood, sweat, and tears for years into this project. Wasn't my idea. Didn't have anything to do with the production. Didn't have anything to do with anything. I was just in a bunch of scenes. Yay. I'm a movie star. No, I'm a clown. The me that you see in this film died, so enjoy it. Humble me is what exists now. What I wished that everyone would get is that there's only a few things in this world that can really change man's relationship with government, man's relationship with money, man's relationship with his time. Right now, we've got the highest inflation we've had since I've been alive, and that's 43 years now. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And we've got banks collapsing, and we've got bailouts, and all of the things that people predicted would come true that are the reason that cryptocurrency was invented are happening. There's certain countries that you may not have been to that this is life or death for them. High inflation countries where their money is worth, half as much at the end of the next year as it is this year. You got to get your money out of those currencies. And the dollar is not one of those currencies yet, but historically, about every 50 years, fiat currencies fail. It's very hard to have a fiat currency backed by nothing that lasts longer than 50 years, it seems. And, dollar's been around for a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. I feel that it's wildly important for you to understand that the future really is digital. It really is cryptocurrency. And if you can get around the gatekeepers, if you can get the word out, if you can get people to learn about something that could really change the future, everyone gets rich together. When you get rid of all the middlemen and you get rid of all the waste and you get rid of all the inefficiency, that value, it goes somewhere. And it goes to the people that deserve it, the people that believed. Enjoy the film, everybody.
Is Richard Hart. Genius.
Legendary.
Arrogant. Bit of a narcissist.
The benevolent king.
$250,000. Hate me. I'm farther than you'll ever be in your whole life.
Whatever the governments have been doing, it's not worked out. You've never had worse interest rates. Your money has never been worth less. And the only thing that's making it better is cryptocurrency.
Crypto is money without governments, and it is money without banks.
You're not going to meet another product like this as long as you live. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to look for some fraud this morning?
They are promising 40% annual return.
Everything I have worked for is staked in Hex.
Good.
I put it all in.
All what?
All of our house money. No, I don't think that it's a scam.
Because I trust Richard Hart.
If ultimately this is all a big performance art project, people are gonna get fucked.
So that
You're
means
lucky it works at
I
all.
should trust you.
Listen, I think you should trust me, but if you get into the habit of trusting people like me, you'll get the crap scammed out of you.